Hello and welcome to my final presentation of the story Tito's Magic, featuring zombie dogs and rabies. So Tito is the main character. Tito is a small brown and white deer-headed chihuahua. He is brave and a risk taker, and he is willing to help his dog friends that were enslaved. His mission wants to save his dog friends and mandate the rabies vaccination, because the rise in homeless dogs who got rabies made this evolve into a zombie dog apocalypse, and he believes every dog deserves to live a happy, healthy life without rabies or being enslaved. He also wants to get rid of the slave owners so that the dogs can live a loving, well life with like a new family. So here's Tito. He's waiting at the dog park for his friends, and unfortunately they never showed up. They always go out to the park when they are done eating dinner. They're not really supposed to go. By them, I mean the rest of his friends. Tito is allowed to, but his dog friends are all enslaved dogs, so they are really risking sneaking out after dinner and playing with each other. But like I said, they did not show up. Tito's parents is Justina and Hunter. They play a role of understanding Tito through his behavior, like his barks, and he ends up leading the way to like the keys and other things in the story that make him like a hero. And Bruno is one of his friends, one of Tito's friends. So as Tito walked back home, it was getting dark, and he was like, I'm not supposed to be out after this time. I need to get home. But I see Bruno, so I'm gonna go up to him and see if he's okay, because he's not really acting himself. When Tito asked what was wrong with him, are you okay? Where's your parents? Usually you're not out here without your slave, because you're not supposed to be alone, especially in the dark. He violently barked and nipped at Tito and almost bit him and tried to attack Tito. So Tito ran off, ran all the way home. So Bruno is one of the other zombie dogs that started attacking Tito. And this is Bruno. So Bruno was around his parents' house around midnight, and all of a sudden the other dogs come around and they start barking, waking up pretty much all the slave owners, and they come out, and Bruno's parents starts yelling at him, saying, come inside. Bruno doesn't listen, so that whole commotion wakes up Tito and Justina and Hunter. So they're out watching out the window, and basically what happens is it escalates pretty fast, in where Bruno starts attacking his owners, and then the other dogs chime in and start attacking them, and then eventually they all group up in a pack and eat the brains. So Tito could see Bruno's eyes through the window glowing, and he could see them glowing in the dark, and he was walking slowly to the front door. So Tito started barking, and he immediately smelled danger. And so you know how when dogs get frightened or angry or uncomfortable in a situation, their spine goes up. That's what happened to Tito. So he wanted to stop them. His mom kind of peeped out the door. Justina peeped out the door, but the dad, Hunter, told Justina to shut the door because Tito said danger, and Hunter knew that something bad was going to happen if you went out there. So he just was like, shut the door. That dog obviously looks very ill, and that is a zombie dog. I didn't want to put one with like blood on it because I don't really like blood. So enslaved dogs, T-bon ange, I think that's how you say it. Manifestation of awareness and memory, and how inside the container is a part of the dog's soul. So the slave owner collects this and captures the dog's soul in something, and the soul is the owner's protection. The sorcerer retains completely control over the zombie dog. So spiritually, the body is dead, and how the only way it can be free is if the jar is containing the T-bon ange, and if it's broken, or just like broken through salt or meat. Zombie dogs heading to the pound. When dealing with disease outbreaks, you have to be careful beyond the understanding of the additional issues that arise through infection. And the idea that was brought up was that it was immorally wrong to kill the zombie dogs. So one of the people in the group that was heading back to the safe zone basically was like, Tito should volunteer to like put these dogs somewhere safe. So they fed them ground beef and pretty much walked all the way to the dog pound with the ground beef, and met up with a few community members and set the ground beef on the floor. And as the zombie dogs were coming in, they didn't necessarily like pay attention to the humans or the dog. So my conclusion is reuniting with Tito's friends, knowing that they are free from slavery and have a loving home. It is bittersweet. Surviving the violence of the zombie apocalypse, losing family members and community members, Justina and Hunter realized that as long as we stay community-oriented and face challenges together, we come a long way. After all, society can't be built on negative feelings such as fear, anxiety, and feelings of hopelessness. Building a sense of community draws similarities between the undead and similar counterparts within the history of public health. Here's my references. Thank you. Have a great rest of your summer. Bye.